Hey guys, tonight I am going to be telling a few ghost stories, mostly from my childhood. I hope you guys enjoy. So the first one that I can remember happened at my elementary school. I was in the bathroom, I just left the stall, and I was looking in the mirror for a second, and when I did, right behind me I saw a pair of red eyes. I know it's small, but when I turned around, there was nothing there. And it was pretty creepy. And then people started saying that our school was haunted. And me and my friends started looking into it. Which then caused weird things to happen, like wood chips got thrown at her when we were looking around during recess, and just small weird things. We also saw something red, on the asphalt, I think near the tetherball court, that kind of looked like blood. But it was probably just paint. But that was the creepy stuff at my school. And then at home, one night, so we had a 2-bedroom apartment. Me and my sister shared a room. We had a computer in our room and a computer in my mom's room. Well, my sister was in our room playing Nancy Drew. And I was in my mom's room playing on her computer, playing some kind of kids game. And after a little while, we heard a very deep man's voice clearly say, "I'm home." Of course, thinking that it was my sister's game, I went into our room to see what was going on in the game. Well, when I went in there, the computer was off, and she wasn't in the room. She was in the shower. So the only other place the voice could have come from was our living room. But that wouldn't have made sense, because you could hear our front door when it opened, because it creaked. So, of course, me, being the daring, 7 or 8-year-old that I was, went out into the living room to further investigate who had said, "I'm home." The front door was shut and locked. The window was shut, so we wouldn't have heard any voices on the porch, outside, or anything. There was no one in the kitchen. No one was in the apartment but me, my sister, and my mom. So we still don't know who that was, or if they stayed home once they got there. The next story also takes place in the same apartment. I believe it was after this story we had moved our computer from our bedroom out to the living room / dining room type area. So it was between the front door and the kitchen table. Well, me and my sister were just playing games on the computer, doing usual kid stuff. And then we heard someone very softly knock on our door. No footsteps beforehand, just a very soft knock. So my sister went and looked out the peephole. There was no one there. At first we thought maybe it was just kids screwing around. But no other kids lived in our apartment building. It was all adults or elderly people beyond me and my sister. So we don't know who that would have been or where they disappeared to after they knocked. The next story takes place, I believe I was in 6th grade. So, when I was 13, I guess. I was sitting at my dad's house on my laptop doing some homework. My door was partially shut because my nurse was putting some of my clothes away. Let me also point out, we were training a nurse. So the nurse we were training was just sitting on my bed, helping me with my homework, while the other nurse put my laundry away. Well, I looked up for a second to take a break from my laptop, and I very clearly saw a young man, probably in his 20s, wearing a, baggy gray jacket that was unzipped. He was leaning against my door frame, and he just smiled. It wasn't a creepy smile. It was just simple, polite, hello type of smile. And I looked away for a second, and when I looked back, he was gone. Well, come to find out, not going to use no names or specific details, but the nurse that we were training told me that her brother had passed away in his 20s and that he always stuck around with her. And he would like do small things like mess with her, like opening cabinets in the kitchen and stuff like that. So he wasn't like a bad spirit. But you know, as a 13-year-old, kind of freaked me out. So I wasn't expecting to very clearly see a guy in my doorway beyond like my father. Also I think sorry. At my father's house, there used to be like weird noises in the basement, which of course people blew off as like, piping and stuff. It was an older house. But it always clearly to me sounded like footsteps, like under my room, which was weird. It was a very big basement, the size of the house. It's now been turned into bedrooms, like my sister and my cousin lives there also. So, no weird stuff since they actually renovated it into rooms, but before then there was always footsteps and maybe the occasional sound, like whispering type noises, through the vent by my bed. So, weird stuff. And I don't really have, like, an overall story for my current apartment that I'm in, but I can say that I think it's haunted. Just the small, weird stuff that has happened just makes me feel like something is here beyond the people that live here. Because I've heard noises like right outside my porch, like knocking noises in the middle of the night. I look out there and there's no one there. I've also heard things moving in the kitchen. I've seen shadows in the kitchen. And I've also seen a shadow, like, by the porch. Again, there was no one actually out there. Because we have street lights, so I would have seen if it was an actual person. I've also heard noises, like, in the hallway, like the closet door sliding open ever so slightly. And noises from, like, my mom's bedroom when my mom is dead asleep. Like, I can hear her snoring, but I can hear other noises happening in her room that can't be explained. And I also won't go into full detail, but I had a nurse tell me in our last apartment, she was sitting like at the kitchen table, which is straight in front of the hallway, leading down to my mom's room and the bathroom and everything. Well, she looked up from her paperwork and saw fingers wrapped around my mom's doorframe. Again, my mom was asleep. You could hear her snoring. But she saw fingers just wrapped around the edge of the doorframe, and the door was ever so slightly cracked open. And she'd also seen, before we had cats, a black cat walk down the hallway and into my mom's room. We didn't have cats yet, so that could not have been explained. We also obviously did not find a cat in our apartment at any point after that. So, if I think of any more ghost stories, I will keep you guys updated and on the weird noises in my current apartment, because they are a little weird. But if you guys have any other ideas for future videos, be it song covers, story times, or just specific topics you want me to talk about, comment them down below, or message me on any of my social medias, which will be linked in the description down below. Bye, guys.